The newly confirmed U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, Johnnie Carson, sat down for an exclusive interview with the Voice of America. Speaking with VOA's Tizita, Belachew, Ambassador Carson said that the Obama administration will continue to support and encourage the creation of democratic institutions, values and principles that have led to successful elections in some African countries.
Africa has made substantial democratic progress since the late 1980s. And I think the turning point was around 1989, 1990, and 1991. We see today enormous progress across the continent. This year alone, we've seen two remarkable elections. One in South Africa that brought President Zuma to power. We saw a peaceful transition there, a very, very lovely ceremony in which the current president, or the then president, Belachew, stepped aside for the winner, Mr. Jacob Zuma. In January of this year, in Ghana, we also saw remarkable elections that brought President John Atta Mills to power. There it was the fifth successful democratic election since the end of military rule in Ghana. And more importantly, it was the second time that a ruling party had given way to an opposition party at the ballot box.
These two countries are probably, as you suggested, success stories in Africa. But going back to challenging situations, for instance, in Zimbabwe and also in Kenya, right after the fraudulent election, there was a coalition government, a very fragile coalition in both countries. What does your government do to strengthen these democracies?
First of all, encourage a political dialogue. We encourage an end to the hostilities in the case of Kenya. We support initiatives in the case of Kenya led by former Secretary General Kofi Annan. And we ourselves, on a bilateral basis, go out and encourage both sides in Kenya to adhere fully to the accords that were worked out between the two competing sides by Secretary General Kofi Annan. In the case of Zimbabwe, we encourage the mediation of South Africa. We encourage the mediation by SADC. And we ourselves continue to encourage the government of Robert Mugabe to live up completely to the global political accords that he signed with Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai.
In Ethiopia now, in 2010, there is an upcoming election. What commitment do you give the Ethiopian people that this time around the election will be free and fair, and what would be U.S.'s role?
The United States will maintain its fundamental principle and belief that elections are a part of democracy, an important part of democracy, and that we will continue to support the effort of people to realize elections, that we will support democratic principles, democratic values, the rule of law. And we will encourage governments to respect democratic values.
Mr. Obama, during his inauguration, has promised to be tough on governments who violate human rights. How do you revise your policy towards Ethiopia in terms of commitment to human rights?
We would hope that democracy would continue to have a stronger and continued pace of progress. And we hope that that will continue. Certainly it will be a part of our dialogue with the Ethiopian government, as it is with other governments that we deal with in Africa. We want to see, again, strengthening of the institutions, an opening of the political space, a greater involvement of civil society, and more respect for the rights of individuals, both in the political sphere and in the economic sphere.